Before we continue, I have two important updates. We'll discuss Paquetá and Caio Jorge. This video has a lot of information about Flamengo, but we have important information to bring here. Now, there's the situation that happened yesterday with the Flamengo player. The young Mango fullback will have surgery. Guys, this is wild. Flamengo released the medical report about the athlete Johnny, who left injured in the match against Bangu, right? Number 77 suffered a trauma to his left shoulder and will undergo surgery. Flamengo's statement explains that the procedure will be performed this Thursday at Niterói Do Hospital. The operation will be conducted by Flamengo's medical department together with Dr. Bruno Tebaldi, a specialist in shoulder surgery. The athlete is stable, receiving proper medical care, and new updates will be released as his post-operative condition evolves. It's sad, right, man? He was diagnosed with an acromioclavicular joint injury which requires surgical treatment. What a shame, what a shame. And now we bring you some news that has stirred up Flamengo's fans at this moment. Check out this information here. I never imagined that the relationship between Flamengo and Gerson would end like this. After this, Gerson will never play for Flamengo again. Never say never, but it's unlikely Gerson will play for Flamengo again after this, even though it's his favorite club. But Gerson probably won't play for Flamengo again after this. Entertainment and Sports Programming Network reports that Flamengo has sued Gerson and FGM Sports, owned by Marcão, Gerson's father. The club is demanding 42.7 million in court. The image rights contract between Flamengo and Gerson required either party to pay the remaining amount if the agreement was broken. That's crazy, right? The guy broke the contract, didn't he? When Gerson left Flamengo to transfer to Zenit, this debt was at 40 million. The club decided to take legal action after the midfielder transferred to Cruzeiro. Things that were talked about, things that happened that didn't look good, right? Besides, there's another issue, right? He leaves for Zenit, okay, sold and all, goes there, stays for 6 months, and then comes back to Cruzeiro. He doesn't settle anywhere. The player Marcão managed to irritate BAP, right? And that's what happens. After this, it's unlikely that Gerson will return to Flamengo. Hey guys, red and black greetings. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro-Negro channel. If you're just arriving, I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below. Turn on notifications by clicking the bell and leave a cool like on the video. We're here thanks to Haroldo's Caravan, man. You can already secure your spot with a ticket at Maracanã for the Recopa matches. So, the Brasileirão, man, Copa do Brasil, when it starts, also Libertadores, man, and also these Carioca Brasileirão matches. You can secure everything with Haroldo's Caravan, complete package. Look for the Haroldo's Caravan crew right now. You won't regret it. It's spectacular, all right? The packages are really good. We're also here to remind you that you can lose weight in a healthy way with more hair. The My Slim program, so we're always bringing it here. Just scan the QR code and you can get the My Slim program. Man, get your free evaluation right now. At Mais Cabelo, you can rent your car, a big car for the whole family, for traveling, for outings, a car for the family. Man, it comes with a car seat, with everything, man. It's fantastic. Top-notch service, fast, man. Super intuitive. They solve everything really quickly, man. The car will be waiting for you at the airport. You can get in touch now with Maps Rent-A-Car. Maps Rent-A-Car has fantastic cars. For example, they have 7-seater cars like this one here. You won't have any issues with your family in Florida. Get in touch right now with Maps Rent-A-Car and say you came through Paparazzo Rubro-Negro. The link is in the pinned comment and also in the description. Maps Rent-A-Car, making your trip even more exciting and more comfortable. So, man, here's the thing. We come here with a lot of information to bring to you. We were live on Placar Aberto just now. And Raiza Simplicio brought some information that there is a clause in Lucas Paquetá's contract with West Ham where the club can automatically renew with the player for 1 more year. However, it's possible that in the event of relegation, the English club could lose that right. So she said on Placar, it's important information. Why? Does it affect Paquetá coming? No, it affects the values. If they're able to renew for another year, the price goes up because they're not exactly with their backs against the wall. Regarding how long Lucas Paquetá will stay, when he'll be able to sign a pre-contract and all that, what if they can't sign for that extra year anymore? If relegation is happening, what happens next? Lucas Paquetá, if he, for example, keeps playing there at West Ham and helps West Ham avoid relegation, there's a chance they might extend his contract for another year. So, Flamengo. It's a situation that involves negotiation because, for example, Flamengo might want to sign Lucas Paquetá and wants him to come. They want him to help avoid relegation, but if he does, he might leave. Extending his contract for another year would require settling everything now, which Flamengo doesn't want. We'll discuss that here. The news which came out earlier from the Telegraph portal, from the Telegraph tabloid, which is very famous in England. In fact, we talked to Jose Boto. I've been talking to him about all these situations. He doesn't confirm the meeting, but he seems confident about the signing of Lucas Paquetá. Another source connected to Flamengo's board reveals that Flamengo will not agree to sign Lucas Paquetá and loan him to West Ham. Why? In the Telegraph, it came out that they believed in a deal worth 35 to 45 million euros, but that to sell Lucas Paquetá, they wanted Paquetá to be loaned by Flamengo to West Ham until mid-year or the end of the European season. Flamengo, on the other hand, Flamengo wants Paquetá now. Flamengo wants to sign Lucas Paquetá. Right now, Flamengo doesn't want to wait until the next transfer window. We've already talked about this here a few times. So, Flamengo will not agree to negotiate Lucas Paquetá with West Ham if they have to, in this case, sign Lucas Paquetá from West Ham. If they have to wait and loan him, Flamengo won't want that because they'll have to pay more. They'll seek a compromise, relying on Paquetá's help as he wants to leave West Ham. In fact, Lucas Paquetá posted a video on his stories of him playing with the audio of a pastor. Just listen to this.
Look, for those who remain standing, it generates resilience, and all resilience brings double honor and exaltation.
Look, this is Lucas Paquetá's post talking about coming back.
Look, just a post. It puts you back in the same place you were once taken from, but it puts you at a higher level. You're not who you used to be. You don't have the soft skin you once had. No. Now your scars speak for you.
He says, pay attention, the post.
It puts you back in the same place you were once taken from, but it puts you at a higher level.
It puts you in the same place you were once taken from, but it puts you at a higher level. Lucas Paquetá, by posting this subliminal message, is like a pastor. It's a pastor's speech with images of him playing soccer, putting you back in that place you were taken from, but now at a higher level. In other words, at your peak today, a stronger, more famous, more complete player. He's making this desire clear, this desire, right? Saying that you're not who you used to be, his desire to return home. So Paquetá, exposing everything, Paquetá put it all out there, showed his whole desire to return to Flamengo. Yeah. Flamengo wants to sign Lucas Paquetá, and everything is already agreed with him, as we've reported in the last 2 days. Signing a contract until 2029 would mean a 4-year deal. He had a contract with Escher until 2027, but with Flamengo, he'd stay until 2029, 4 years with an option for 1 more, as they told me. Flamengo has agreed with Lucas Paquetá, so if the transfer succeeds, a source close to the board says Paquetá will sign a contract until 2029. The negotiations are progressing positively, and there is internal optimism in Flamengo's football department about bringing the midfielder back. The same source assures that, although it's a complicated and unprecedented deal for Brazilians, the waiting game continues. But they really don't want to give in and have him come only in the next transfer window because they are counting on the player, especially now that Saul has undergone surgery and is sidelined from Felipe Luiz's team and De La Cruz is an unknown factor. Lucas Paquetá didn't train again this Thursday. He finds himself in a delicate situation. Paquetá stands firm in his decision and has already made it clear that he doesn't intend to play any more games wearing the English club's jersey. I spoke with a source, a journalist who works in England, and he told me that what people are saying there is that he doesn't want to stay. Even in English football, he doesn't want to stay in the Premier League. The situation with the English Federation affected him. He wants distance, plans to leave, and hopes to join Flamengo in Brazil. In fact, I saw Palmeiras fans campaigning to try to sign Lucas Paquetá. The information I'm giving you, man, is don't embarrass yourself. Paquetá in Brazil, among the clubs that are rivals with Flamengo, he will never go to them. In Brazil, it's only Flamengo, my friends. Paquetá is a Flamengo fanatic. There's no doubt about it. It's about loving the jersey, rare in world football. Paquetá and Vini Jr., Coutinho at Vasco are among the few remaining examples. Lucas Paquetá embodies love for the jersey. Okay, so we're telling you that there's absolutely no chance, okay, guys? So there's a standoff and expectation to see who will give in. First, either West Ham releases the player now to Flamengo, or Paquetá agrees to come back, get on the field, train, and everything else. The next few hours are crucial in the negotiation. Flamengo meets with West Ham this Friday. Internally, there's optimism among Flamengo supporters about closing the deal. But as I've said before, I still think it would be better for him to train. I still think it would be better for him to just take it easy. Causing trouble only makes things harder, in my view. Even if he wants to show pressure or act like he wants to leave, it doesn't help. I always think the ideal way is to talk things out, right? What about you? Otherwise, they'll demand a high price to let him go, but he'll say he won't play there anymore, right? There's that too, huh? I saw some information saying that Flamengo could negotiate Gonçalo Plata with West Ham, right? Including Gonçalo Plata in the negotiation to bring Lucas Paquetá, is that it? I also talked to a source connected to the board who guaranteed that Flamengo never considered it at any point. They haven't considered it yet, including any player in the deal, okay? Involving any player in the deal. Yeah, we got access there. Me and Club de Regatas do Flamengo Matos, who's been doing a fantastic job, also on Twitter. And we've been talking to the people from Flamengo's page, from Planeta do Flamengo. They thanked us and sent regards to João. We get some interesting information, and Flamengo, a month ago, I made a spreadsheet of possible departures, and all the ones happening now were already on it. And there was another possible departure, which was Gonçalo Plata's, and another one, Everton Araujo. I have information that Flamengo has already backed off because of Saul's situation, De La Cruz's situation, and the current moment Everton Araujo is going through. They've already backed off. The possible arrival of Paquetá prevents the signing of Marcos Antonio. The information I got is that if they close the deal with Lucas Paquetá, Flamengo won't make a huge effort to sign Marcos Antonio. Flamengo is currently focused on signing Lucas Paquetá and a forward, but may also negotiate with São Paulo if possible. Alan's age and Marcos Antonio's arrival. Flamengo is closing the deal, but it's possible that if Lucas Paquetá comes, Marcos Antonio won't. So Flamengo is out there in the market working out these issues. So we have this spreadsheet we were telling you about. For example, Everton Araujo, who I think will stay because he earned a lot of respect, and Flamengo will need a defensive midfielder, so Everton Araujo probably won't be transferred anymore. There's interest in renewing with Cebolinha, and Michael might leave. Santos is negotiating to sign him. He's open to a pay cut, and both sides are interested. Alan might go to São Paulo, but we need to wait for the political situation and confusion there to settle. Marcos Antonio's arrival is also possible, and we also got access to the names that Flamengo was monitoring. Among top players, Flamengo considered signing top for Brazilian football, not global football. Lucas Paquetá, John Arias, they even considered the possibility of Luis Henrique, but Luis Henrique doesn't play. Luis Henrique, even though there's interest in him, I honestly think Luis Henrique wouldn't accept playing for Flamengo. I think that's already clear. But for example, John Arias, Flamengo tried but didn't get a positive response from John Arias. He wants to return to Brazil and Fluminense, but currently prefers to stay in Europe. Even about Palmeiras, I heard he wants to remain in Europe. Lucas Paquetá's situation had already been in Flamengo's plans for over a month, and there was also a goalkeeper. Flamengo signed Andrew, but there was also a goalkeeper who was in Flamengo's plans, which is Ederson from Fenerbahce. He was on that list of possible signings that Clube de Regatas do Flamengo Matos gave me. We also had key information here. The owner of Cruzeiro's Sociedade Anônima do Futebol, Pedro Lourenço, spoke again about Flamengo's negotiations with Caio Jorge. In an interview with Band, Pedrinho said he would sell the striker if he received a €50 million offer. The owner of Cruzeiro's Sociedade Anônima do Futebol also said that Flamengo is very strong. If they offered 50 million, I'd sell, but I have no intention of selling and won't sell. We renewed with Caio Jorge until 2030. We're happy in the meantime, and we signed Gerson. We have to hold on to what we have. Flamengo is very strong, otherwise they're going to weaken us even more. So his concern is seeing Flamengo weaken the rivals, and proving that he went there to try to keep his players, to sign players to compete with Flamengo. A lot of what Fabrício Kika used to say about Flamengo, forcing the market, forcing the teams to spend more, the Sociedade Anônima do Futebol trap. And Pedrinho himself saying that really if Flamengo offered more, they would sell. They know Flamengo is strong and must keep strengthening and holding on to what they have, just like us. So I also have to tell you about the launch tomorrow of Flamengo's new jersey. The jersey will be launched, and we already have its debut confirmed as well. The new jersey will be released in stores now on the 16th tomorrow, so the new jersey is beautiful, really beautiful. The new jersey with a collar, just look at it. Flamengo will debut their new jersey this Saturday against Volta Redonda, according to Monica Alves from the FLAM column. So, Flamengo will be wearing the new jersey for the first time. Game 1. The strategy was decided together by Flamengo and Adidas. This was to stop the team from using the old uniform after launching the new model. So, the Flamengo youngsters in the Carioca playing against Volta Redonda with the new jersey. Look at that, it looks cool, huh? The new jersey looked great on Guilherme. They have to play with the new jersey and win. All right, kids, let's win. We need this important victory. The situation got ugly. Just 1 point out of 6, right? So, Flamengo wore the new jersey against Volta Redonda on Saturday. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and like the video. Thank you very much for your company. Jubilee greetings. This is Flamengo. A big hug. Thanks. I'm out.